Howdy y'all, it's Angela. Conservative mom, professional researcher, and fact checker. Just wanted to jump on real quick. Today's issue is this notion of free speech on the left. I'm starting to understand the left think, and it's disturbing. And I'm not sure, quite frankly, how we get them back, these people with these notions, because as I'm working on, I've got a video coming up right now on where we failed our kids, and looking back at some of the work I did with Glenn Beck, and also on my own for a site that I had called Tavern Keepers. And I'm also working on my next video for Come On Man is not an effing answer, so look forward to that. But real quick on the excuse me, on the free speech thing, the notion of freedom of speech is you protect all speech, even if it's going to offend you. Everybody probably remembers that Kathy Newman, Jordan Peterson interview. So even if the speech is going to offend you, you must defend it, because it's easy to, and I've said this before, it's easy to defend speech that you agree with. It's not easy to defend speech that you abhor, even whatever it may be. I mean, yes, and there are limits, because when we talk about pornography, then people are like, well, then what about porn and child porn or whatever? That's not free speech. That's a violation of somebody else's liberties. That's a violation of somebody else's person. And the same thing with bestiality, or the same thing when you call out for threats. That's not just freedom of speech. That's calling out for a threat. That's something, that's a call to action that violates somebody else's safety. So there are differences, and quite frankly, the more libertarian-minded of us should really think about how George Washington and the founders. And by the way, forgive my face. I'm painting today, so I'm not like all made up. I apologize. Please forgive my ugliness. Anyway, so but the founders' notion was your liberties, your rights extend to the tips of your fingertips. So meaning you do not have the right to impose yourself on me. So when you call for an attack on somebody, or you dox somebody, or you go to Tucker Carlson's house, or any number of the things that we're seeing, that is a violation of the other person's liberties. That's why that is not okay. All right. So also there's private property things, but the leftists don't believe in private property. They think the government allows you to believe you have private property, but when all is said and done, it's the government gets to decide. And to a certain extent, they're not wrong, but that's part of the problem. That erosion is happening, and we really need to be more vigilant with our kids, guys. But back to the free speech. They believe it is their free speech does not give you the freedom to say what you want. Freedom of speech is they believe that they are elevating a certain voice in a certain perspective, because that voice, i.e. trans people, that voice has been pushed down and marginalized. So they will elevate that perspective in order to give them a voice and to give them free speech. So they're leveling the playing field. It's this really weird thing. And it goes back to, again, if you watch Jordan Peterson or any number of other things, the whole notion of equal opportunity versus equal outcome. I didn't understand that this was a thing for people. Does it not make sense to everybody? But I've been chatting with some people online, and wow, does it not make sense to everybody that it has to be a meritocracy? If I want to be a pilot, I just can't walk in and be a pilot, and nobody would expect me to get on a plane and have the job. I can't say, well, I'm a woman and I want to be a pilot. You have to have the credentials, and you have to have the training, and you have to have the hours, and there's a whole host of things in the education. There's a whole host of things that go along with being a pilot. Same thing with a surgeon. Same thing with a police officer. Same thing with any number of jobs. So, and there are going to be people that have better aptitude for it. That has nothing to do with gender, race, religion, nothing. It has to do with your aptitude for certain things, and we need to stop being jealous of people. I wish I could present things in a more clear, concise manner. But my brain is very erratic, and it goes a lot back to the PTSD, or the complex PTSD. And my brain chemistry was screwed up from being abused as a young child. And I'm not talking necessarily just the physical abuse. It's the constant pounding of negativity. So my brain started to wire at a very, very, very young age to sort of compensate for things. So I see the world in a skewed manner, and I appreciate that. But I have talents. I can't be jealous of other people. These people, it's like they don't want to try. They just want everything handed to them, and they don't understand consequences, which is part of the problem. I started to talk about it in one video. I don't know if I ever posted it. I apologize. I've started like 25 videos, and I've never posted them. But These people, kids between, I did, the cognitive stuff. They think in their amygdala, which is the emotional part of the brain. We think after the age of 25, 26, your brain is really sort of formed the concept of consequences. It's not fully formed. So when you have a teenager, for example, and you tell them to put away the dishes, and they don't, and you keep running out of dishes, and now they're like, well, why don't we have any dishes? I can't do the dishes because it's personal choice. It's a matter of principle. I will not empty the dishwasher. That is the child's responsibility. I'll say it 100,000 times, but she's got to do it. And she doesn't understand. It's like, it's not like she doesn't know. It's just like she doesn't make the connection that if she doesn't do that, we won't have dishes because I'm not going to do that. So it's the consequence thing of their actions is really it's really not set yet. They don't really fully appreciate. It's not they don't understand that there are consequences. They just don't fully appreciate, which is part of the reason we don't put children, for the most part, into, adult prison when, there's a chance that they can be rehabilitated because they didn't understand. Anyway, so this notion that free speech is, they have to be the arbiters of it because people might get their feelings hurt. How very arrogant. Basically, they're infantilizing anybody that they consider a marginalized group. They have to protect these people. It is their job, their duty, their responsibility. Why? Who named them that? You work for like an online blog or something. Get over yourselves. Or you're tweeting, vicious things on Twitter. It's not up to you to decide what the public discourse is. These are little, millennial, some of them may have gone to J school, but it didn't do them any good. But these are not people like Copernicus and these are not people like Galileo. These are not people in the public discourse who get to decide. These are the people that tried to shut down Copernicus, Galileo. These are the people who had Socrates kill himself. That's who these people are. So anyways, I'm going to get into this a little bit more because this is a failure of not only our education system, guys, it's a failure of our parenting because we didn't stay vigilant. And we need to stop being afraid to say what we think, for the love of God. Say what you think. Stop letting the bullies control us, because this is how it happened in freaking Germany. This is how it happened in Russia. This is how it happened in China. Stop. We have guns, actually. Those places really didn't. Stop. Stop. Speak up for yourself, because your kids' future, your grandkids' future, our country's future depends on you growing a set of balls and speaking up. Anyways, guys, look forward to more videos. I'm working on them hard. Please like, share, subscribe if you like the content. If you don't, but, throw me a dislike button. I'd like to see that too. Tell me what you think of these comments. I'm really honestly interested. Talk to you soon.